So hi, this is Mark Payne. I'm here with the brand new Contact Automatic Tyre Truer. I have used it, so this is not like an unboxing. I am outside because I'm really not allowed to true tyres inside. Audrey would kill me, so I've had to set up my little review studio in the garden. So Contact already make a really cost-effective manual tyre truer, and this has got some of the similar features. It's got the same basic drive motor, but it's a completely automatic unit. I've been using this and I like it very much. It comes in a nice little carry case like this, and the carry case is really well protected. If I'm taking it to the pits, I wouldn't bother with those two. In fact, I'll put those to the side. I would just transport it like that. It's got a little foam thing in the bottom to keep it centered. If I was doing a flyaway race, I absolutely would use it in the full packaging. Anyway, this is it. Let's get him out. Fully automatic. It has adjustable speed of feed. Obviously you can adjust your tyre diameter. The shaft on it is standard 8mm here. If you've got other Arbors, they will fit. Not supplied with an Arbor because it depends on what kind of tyres you're truing. You might be into minis or 12 scale or 8 scale. So I will say, just a disclaimer, Schumacher don't pay me to make this. They have, however, sent me the truer to review. So I don't get them to approve what I'm saying to you. I have used other truers. I've used all the truers that are available. So I'll give you my honest opinion on this particular truer. I tend to use Contact tyres. I use the hex ones on 12 scale. This is the universal Arbor, so it will work for 3-bolt rears as well. I'll put a link to this universal Arbor which suits hex or 3-bolt. Of course, this Arbor will do any front tyre for a 12 scale car as well. It comes with a separate power lead, which is kind of cool. I'm using a standard 12-volt power supply that most people use. I'm not going to plug it in the wrong way because I've not tried that, and I don't intend to during this demo. It's got a really nice cover which actually covers right over the end, so it reduces the amount of dust that gets about. There's an automatic feed control which is speed adjustable. There's a couple of collars which are adjustable at the ends, so you can adjust how far this travels. I've set it up for a set of rears. It'll come all the way back and then stop. There's a little stop just here to stop that coming too far down, so it doesn't actually touch the tool post as it moves along. You can cut a kind of conical tyre if you want to by adjusting the way the tool post travels. Obviously I'm set to 0 degrees for that. The cutter is at an angle. The reason it's at an angle is you get a progressive cut, so as the tool moves across, you're cutting slightly deeper, so it introduces itself at a shallower point and then goes deeper because the bottom of this is closer to the center line of the wheel, so you get a progressive cut. The carbide tip that comes with this is supplied with the unit. Why don't we do some cutting? Fresh out of the box set of K35s. I'll do a little video on calibration later, but this is calibrated. Each division here is 0.2 of a millimeter, so I'm set right now for a 42mm cut. I'm going to smack this straight down, and I'll let the first one go with the cover off so that you can see it. Okay, let's go. Pretty severe, as you can hear. That's quite a cut. I always let it return because the diameter is obviously being slightly modified as that happens. So this is with that mega cut that I've just done. That's the kind of finish that we've got. Let's pop that back on, give that a finish with my tool here. Round off the corners. This is some kind of tungsten carbide, you know, sanding board. I can't even remember where I got it from, but I mean, you could use sandpaper. It's going to have the same sort of effect. So let's have a look at diameter here. That's a 42.2, so that's pretty damn good. I felt that was a bit quick. I don't know what you felt, but I thought I dug in there pretty hard. So I'm going to take another cut, still full cut. So these are coming out of the box at about 47mm, so I'm still going to go full cut, but I'm going to really give the tyre a bit more of a chance here. You can see the progressive cut. Back she comes. Yeah, that's a much nicer finish right out the box. So corners, So the one I've just done slower is on the left. Yeah, it's a nicer finish. I think I was going too hard and too fast. I mean, that's as good as you're going to get, and you can see I didn't spend too much time with the sanding board. 42.07, so that's crack on 42mm. What I'm going to do now is use exactly the same procedure just to show consistency. So off we go again. You've seen this enough times. I'll close the top, try and keep the dust down. The finish. Yeah, smack on. 42.08. Absolutely crack on it. And here's the other one. Yeah, happy days. So accurate, repeatable, nothing more you could ask for. So you can see I'm at 9 o'clock really, so nice slow transport. I'm doing that because I'm being really lazy and hitting the tyre in one hit, and I'm getting good finish and repeatable results. When you get the universal Arbor from Contact, you get the one for the hex wheels and for fronts, but also you get the one with the kind of 3 prongs for a 3-bolt. Just locate that where the holes would be, offer it up to the Arbor, spin it in, just give that a little tighten up, that's ready to go. And again, crack on, 42.1. Of course you can use your whatever arbors you've got, because it's the standard 8mm hole. Do check, I noticed with my old hoodie it was only 8mm halfway down its length, so the shaft here is quite healthily long, so watch out if you're using a hoodie arbor that it's not got a step in it. I had to drill this one 8mm all the way down. It was like 8mm halfway down and then went through a step for some reason. I have no idea if they're all like that. This thing is as old as the hill, so if in doubt, just get hold of the Contact Universal. That'll be good for your hexes. It has a hex built into it, so there's no chance of it slipping on the rear tyre as it goes round, but it is also suitable for 3-bolt rears, providing you use the splined 3-leg nuts with it. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like it. It's a great unit, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than the alternatives, which I won't show you and I won't mention, but you know what they are. Here's a quick demo on how I would calibrate one of these. Tyre of no particular size. It happens to be 46.5. Pop that on, wind your tool post out the way, so go high speed, bang it across. We're looking for this to stop at the right point. So first thing to calibrate is the travel of the tool post. Yeah, that's way too early, as you can see, so that needs to go out. Slip him across. That's not enough. One more time. That's far enough. In fact, just so I'm not cheating, let me uncalibrate this. You need one of these little Allen keys. I have no idea what that is. It just came out of my little Allen key box, so I'm just going to mess up the calibration of this. So basically there's an Allen key near the 0 marker. Each one of these divisions is 0.2, so I'm just going to undo that, move that somewhere wrong, but then wind in a good few mil and take a cut. It's at the 0, which is some arbitrary point. Whoa, bit slower. Let's see what we've got as a tyre diameter. I'm actually going to take it off so I can get this thing accurately. 42.7, so I want this to be set to a 0.7, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it back without moving the thread. I'm going to move it back to 0.7, so that would be minus 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.7, and then do it back up again, which I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. I want it there. I've got to find the hole. I've found it. It's here. Here's the Allen key. That's the 0.7. If I want to get rid of 0.7, if I return that back to the 0 point, which is there, look, that should be a 42 cut. Let's go with that. Do it slow. Okay, so again, That's 42.15. I mean, that's pretty close. Can you see I've put a marker near 42? So there's no reference marker on this because it depends on what tool you're using, and also I guess the variation in the manufacture of these things, and that's why I've put a little mark at 42 on there. You saw me uncalibrate it on the fine adjust. Final acid test is to take a fresh one, smack that on, see if I can cut this in a wanner. Seen enough of that. Spin it the other way so this doesn't end up being pushed into my hand. Nice finish, happy with that. 42 dead. So that's calibrated. I know if I return to that 0 point, that's my 42. If I wanted a 41, that would be just half a turn there. To the 41 point, back to the 42. Remember, if you are adjusting, always go back bigger than you want and back to the size you want to make up for any slop in the tool thread. That's ready to race. A bit of I normally use a bit of masking tape just to take any dust out, and that's ready to go. So overall, I just think the Contact Automatic Tyre Truer is just a great piece of kit. I mean, if you're not careful, you can end up spending twice as much on a tyre truer than you did on the car that you're truing tyres for. And I think also with the cheaper mechanical unit at about 180 odd quid, they've got you covered really for low cost tyre truing. Because I spend a lot of time truing tyres for national meetings and the like, I really do appreciate an automatic truer that returns the tool post every time I use it. So for me, this is the truer that I'm going to be using going forward. Thank you Contact for sending me this for review. I'm going to be keeping it.